Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for joining me for my Happy Day series. Happy Day series is all about using items we have on hand or items that are in our stash. And so today I'm going to be using the stamp set from C&CT Stamp. And it's an older one, I think it's a few years old. But I love the tulips, so I wanted to make a thank you card using the tulip images in the stamp set. Tulips were my favorite flower, so I thought we'll make a thank you card today. So we're going to ink up the stem of the tulip here with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and then I'm going to do the same with the smaller stem. And I want to thank everybody for my Get Well wishes. I've never ate so much chicken soup in all my life, but I think it's helping, and a lot of vitamins and a lot of prayers are helping too. And so thank you everybody for all your Get Well wishes. But after I stamp my images, I'm going to color in my tulips very simply with my Copic markers. I'm just going to use some purples and greens to color this in. I'm going to play some music, and when I'm done coloring I will catch you back. Okay, I have my coloring done. Now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to fussy cut these guys out. I'm going to leave a little bit of a white border because the stems are so thin, and this will just give me a little bit more width with the white border. But there they are. Now just to give it a little more accent, I'm going to take my white gel pen and I'm going to add a few dots of white on my tulip just to give it a little bit more definition. I'm sorry about the wobbly camera, I don't know what happened. But there's my pretty little tulips. Okay, next I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock. Actually, this is Bristol Smooth cardstock. And I did grab my craft mat. This is one of the Tim Holtz craft mats. I actually took my scissors and cut it in two. And then that way it fits the size of my desk perfectly. But I'm going to go in with some Distress Oxide inks. This one is Peacock Feathers. And I want the bottom to be very, very heavy, and then I'm kind of gonna spread that color out so it's lighter on the top and then really heavy on the bottom. This is going to be my background panel, so I'm just making sure that bottom part's really heavy. Okay, once we have that done, what I'm going to do next is so fun and so neat, and I encourage you guys to try this out. But I am going to take a baby wipe, just regular baby wipe, and then I'm going to daub over my panel with the baby wipe all squinched up, and it's going to create a really neat effect in the background. I love doing this. This is so fun. It's almost like a marbly effect, but I thought I'd go a little bit one step further. So I'm going to go in with my Ice Spruce. It's a real pretty gray oxide ink, and I'm going to just take the baby wipe directly to my oxide ink pad there, and then I'm going to daub that on there. And I'm going to do the same thing with my faded jeans, just to add a little bit of color. And the outcome turns out so fun, really marbly. It's so fun to do. So that's going to be my background panel. I think it creates a lot of interest. I'm going to take one of my stitched rectangle dies, and I'm going to cut out a panel with this. I'm just going to arrange it on my paper here, just trying to figure out what's the prettiest place for me to cut. Okay, once we have that done, I'm going to flip it around, And I think that's going to be a real pretty background for our tulips. Now, I wanted to put a frame around my card, but I didn't want it to be just a plain white frame. So I decided to grab my embossing folders. And I thought I keep all my embossing folders in this binder here. It's actually from one that you could pick up from Hobby Lobby. Love this thing. It just keeps everything organized for me. I have two of them actually for all my embossing folders. But I grabbed the polka dot one, and I'm just going to put my cardstock inside there and run that through my Big Shot. So this is going to give me a nice texture on my white cardstock there. Now I want to create a frame, so I'm taking the largest stitch rectangle frame or die that I have, and then two size smaller one, and this is going to give me about a 1/2 inch width frame with my embossed polka dots around it. And I think it's real subtle, and I think it goes really nice with the textured background. So that's going to go right over my panel there. Okay. Now, this is my card base. It's a standard A2 size card base, top folding. I'm just going to adhere my distress panel directly to my card base in the center, and then I'm going to take some foam tape and pop up my frame here. My entire frame's covered, so I'm just going to remove the backing off my foam tape and place that in the center of my card base. Okay. Now my tulips are going to go off to the side here. I think that's going to look really pretty. Now we need a sentiment, and I wanted to make a thank you card. So I grabbed a sentiment die from my stash. This is from Pretty Pink Posh, and it's called the Thank You Script die. I'm taking a piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to cut out the thank you with that. But I'm also going to take a piece of, it's a pale lavender fun foam that has adhesive backing, and I'm going to cut out the thank you with my fun foam also. And I'm just going to punch out all the pieces of my white cardstock, but I decided to leave the pieces on the inside of my thank you that I used with the fun foam. I wanted my thank you to keep its shape, and I think if I left the pieces inside it would help me. Okay, I'm just going to kind of arrange my flowers, and then I'm going to add some foam tape behind them, and then add them to my card base. I think my leaf needs a little bit of glue there, because that's going to stick on my frame, but the rest I added foam tape to. This way my flower and my frame are, well, this way it's not so bulky. And then I'm going to do the same thing to my smaller flower. Just add some foam tape. Just kind of tucking it behind my frame, and I think that's going to look really pretty. Now, I arranged my thank you the where I wanted it to go. Now next I'm taking a black marker, and then I'm just kind of drawing on my foam where the thank you overlaps on my flower and my frame. What I'm going to do is take my scissors and trim off that excess part, because I didn't want the bulk of the foam, and so I found this was a lot easier for me to do. Now I'm just punching out the pieces, and since I have the adhesive backing on the very top part of my thank you on the fun foam, I'm going to add some glue to the back part, and then I'm going to secure that on my card base there. I'm going to do the exact same thing to the U. I'm going to trim off that extra piece on the Y. Then I'm going to add some glue behind it and place that right below the thank you, or right below the thank. Lovely. Now I'm going to carefully use my craft pick and remove the backing off of the fun foam. And I lifted it up just a little bit, but it moved back down. I would suggest maybe wait until the glue underneath was dry before we did that, but it worked out just fine. Just going to remove that backing. So my thank you with the fun foam has a sticky top. Now here's where I'm going to go in with my white thank you and place that right over the top. And then this way for me, it was easier because everything laid flush. It's going to be really nice to mail, and it just, for me, looked really finished. And I really like the outcome of this. So once that's done, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella shimmer pen, and I'm going to go over my thank you. And I'm going to show you a close-up of what it looks like. And this way, my sentiment won't dip or anything. I think it looks really pretty. And it gives a little bit of a lavender outline on my thank you also. Now next, these are little gems. These are from Jelly Bean Soup. They came in like a little jewel and sequin mix. And again, you know what? I'll leave links below to everything that I used today if I can find it. But these are really pretty because they're like a turquoise blue, but then they have an iridescence to it, so it's picking up the purple in the flowers. But I just added a few here and there, and then that's it. That's my card for today, my pretty thank you card. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for all your well wishes. I wish you a fantastic day, guys, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.